really disgusts me? People who complain about their pants being too long. So hack them off. You can always cut some off, but you can never just add some on. I know this from personal experience. I've been referred to as ogre child, massive one, mammoth, jolly green giant, Amazon woman, behemoth, Goliath, stork legs, Sasquatch, the Tower, Miss American Alpine, and worst of them all, Abdullah. And you folks can't lie. I know you're just sitting there in your chairs, looking at me, thinking, God, did her mother die giving birth? But no one ever looks at the downside of being tall. They all just think, ooh, basketball player, ooh, they can reach high cabinets. They never think of the pain and ridicule that we giants must endure. There are 3 very challenging things with growing up tall. They are, 1, always being too big for toys and playground equipment, 2, attempting to find clothes that fit, and 3, how everyone assumes that I must play basketball. First of all, I'd like to state that every kid remembers the playground, especially the giant play places at fast food restaurants like Burger King and McDonald's. Just the thought of climbing up that rope ladder, diving into those plastic balls, sliding down that winding slide, and crawling through those endless tunnels is any child's delight. Now imagine what it was like for someone tall, like me. I'm 7 years old. My family and I go to Amigos. It has the best play area in town. It's a kid magnet. I eat my food as fast as I can and take off towards the play set. I run right past the little Amigos sign that states, "Your sombrero must be under this height." Wasn't in there very long before the manager told me I was too big to play in the little kids' play place. I was 7 years old, and because of genetics, they tell me I can't play there. Everyone thinks being tall is such a blessing. One summer, when I was younger, my family and I went to Elitch Gardens in Denver, Colorado for vacation. You know Elitch's. They got rides for little kids like teacups and boats that just go in circles. They've also got rides for adults like the roller coasters and tilt-a-whirls. Imagine my disappointment when my parents were told I was too big for the little kid rides and wasn't old enough for the adult rides. Being tall is just peachy. When I was little, I begged my parents for my size. You remember those? Barbies that were life size. Just as big as the little girls who played with them. So on my birthday, I opened a big present. The box said my size Barbie. I'm so excited. I rip open the box and take out the Barbie. Let me just say, it wasn't my size. So I searched for something bigger. A Barbie Jeep. The commercials portrayed little girls driving around battery powered, hot pink, Barbie decorated Jeeps. I wanted to be part of Barbie's crew too. I spotted one once in a store while shopping with my parents. I ran up to the display model and tried to climb in. My knees wouldn't even fit behind the plastic Mattel steering wheel. Being tall is just great. Now for my second problem with being tall. If I find pants that fit my waist, they go to right about mid-calf. And if I find pants that are long enough, I can fit 2 pregnant watermelon in the waistline along with me. Woe is me. Where are the big stores? Huh? Where are the tall stores? Where are the big and tall stores? Definitely not in my town. And shoes. I guess Mr. Big Shot Shoemaker decided that all women, short and tall, should go through the agony of heels. Not all women want to be taller, okay? Women like me sure don't. So how did these manufacturers sleep at night, knowing that millions of women around the world are suffering from the ridicule of people who think that they should wear shorter shoes? Women like me. And when I'm daring enough to try a pair of taller shoes, people will scream at me. Literally scream and say, "You don't need those. You don't need to be any taller. Well, thanks a lot. Now I feel really, really short." Oh, I'm sorry. You feel short. And that's my fault? If you feel short, buy some stilettos. That's what heels do. Make you look taller. Try them out sometime. I mean, I'm not trying to sound uncouth. I just believe the world has the right to know our story. Ours and the tall people of the world. Ours and the freaks of nature. We belong in a circus freak show. Ladies and gentlemen, come one, come all. See the lady that clothing stores forgot. Now for my third and final point. Do I look like a basketball player? Do I? Well, if you're thinking yes, you have been misinformed. So I'm tall. So what? Not all tall people play basketball, and not all basketball players are tall. I really doubt anyone looks at me and thinks to themselves, ooh, she must be on the speech and debate team. And for those rare people who do think that when they see me, well then my hat is off to them. And by taking off my hat, I look shorter, for the benefit of all the insecure short people of the world. When people come up to me and say, hey, you're tall, do you play basketball? I have this incredible urge to respond in saying, hey, you're short, do you play miniature golf? I never say that, because I think that maybe those people are as sensitive about being short as I am of being tall. And when people hear that I don't play basketball, they say, well, why not? You could be so good. And I reply by saying, I've watched some basketball. I've even played some. I know how those basketball players treat their tall ones. They're like, hey, big guy, stand underneath the hoop, catch the ball. Give it to the point guard. Yes, that's right, the little fast guy. And I just really don't care for the game of basketball. It's a contact sport, and I can't get used to that. I break easily, okay? It's like a toothpick wrestling rocks out there. Oh, don't get me wrong. I have absolutely nothing against the game of basketball. I'm only against the people who think I'm abusing the world and not playing it. So if people don't stop asking me that maddening question, do you play basketball? I might just lose it. And if I hear one more time, how's the weather up there? I might just spit on their head and reply, it's raining. Now in closing, I'd like to reiterate 3 problems with being tall. First of all, it's not easy being a tall child. Always getting kicked out of the amigos playground and never being able to play with the toys you love. But amazingly, all the tall people you see in the world today have survived their tortured childhood. They have survived and become tall men and women, as most tall children seem to become. Second problem is, tall people have a tough time finding clothes that fit. Not only pants and shoes, but shirts. The sleeves are never long enough. That's a tall person's story. Sleeves never reach the wrist, pants never reach the ankles, and shoes never reach any height under 2 inches. So next time you see someone tall who's wearing high waters, someone tall who looks as though they're waiting for a flood, give them a break. It's harder than you think to find clothes that fit. And last but not least, not all tall people play basketball. So next time you get the urge to ask, think again. Maybe you could ask in a different way, like, so, what activities are you in? Do you swim? And be very careful mentioning someone's height, especially if that's someone like me. They might just spit on your head. But don't get me wrong, there are some very strong points of growing up tall. I'm sorry to say they are the stereotypical phrases we've all heard. Ooh, you can reach high cabinets. Ooh, you can see over crowds. Just because they're stereotypical doesn't mean they aren't true. And I really like hearing people tell me, oh, I wish I was as tall as you. And the startled look on their face when I reply, no, you don't. Now, I know all you've heard me do today is grumble about being tall. Though I act like I hate it, I don't think I would change my height for anything. Because if I did, what would I complain about?